Good evening, everyone. Thank you all very much for being with us all over India and across the globe. We are in many countries. Well, there are many reasons why tonight is very special for us here at NDTV. Several reasons, which I shall go into in a few minutes. But first of all, this is election time. And elections is something we really love. In many ways, our life began with elections. And we're also here because we live for the news. And there's some news I'm going to break tonight, which for us is a special gift from our viewers. And they'll come in a few seconds. But what we appreciate most, and I must thank each one of you for the trust and the faith that you have in us. So let me start with why we are deeply grateful to all our viewers. You have shown us that honest, serious, credible news is what matters to you. You have actually shown us, when we were dithering a bit, that we don't have to shout and scream to be heard. Thank you very much for having that faith in us. And the first bit of news, a latest survey, hot off the press, of 90,000 people across the country, a big survey that, shows that among the top 3 English news channels, NDTV is the clear #1 with a 50% viewership. While the other 2 leading channels, English news channels, together are 50%. So our viewership is high as both the others put together. Thank you for your endorsement of serious journalism. So you don't want us to shout and scream, do you? Or should we? Maybe a little bit? No? Okay. Perhaps what's even more gratifying tonight is news of another major report that's just been published. The 2014 edition of India's Brand Trust Report. You must have heard about it, comes out every year. It's the most credible report on the trust associated with different brands all across India of different industries. So, hot from the press again, I bring you news of the results of the latest Brand Trust Report. NDTV is not just the #1 English news channel that's trusted, not just the #1 TV media that's trusted, but it's the #1 brand across all print and television in India. Now that trust is important to us. Your trust is vital to our core, honestly. And we thank you for your faith in NDTV to make us the #1 media brand across the country. And what makes us most happy is that NDTV rates way higher than the second and a great many of the print brands and other media brands which have been around much longer than us. So we're really thrilled with this report, 2014. Thank you. And I think you answered the question of whether we should shout and scream. Just by that, what you give for that report. Basically, no, never, ever. Somebody said that? Finally, we are bang in the middle of elections, and elections is in our DNA. So 2 crucial factors strike me. First, how this is the first really big election in India where television is playing such a major role. It's a huge added responsibility for all of us. It's important for us in television not to let the voters down. This is the moment of truth, if ever there was one. More than 800 million voters voting. And media, television media, is hugely important this time. The second is to be hugely thankful for an institution that has stood the test of time, the Election Commission of India. All of us here stand up to the Election Commission and say, you make us proud to be Indian. You make us proud. Today, there are representatives in India today of at least 30 different countries touring India, learning how Indian elections work and how elections should be conducted. Many countries are now buying our electronic voting machines. So for those who mock our EVMs, please understand, they are a wonderful innovation in many ways, which I won't go into now, envy of the world amongst both developing and developed countries. But most of all, we pay tribute tonight to our Election Commission. Now, I've interacted with election commissioners for nearly 4 decades before many of them were born. And I've been floored every time by how much they achieve with such meager resources. God bless you all. And I will end with one plea to all political parties and to all of us, to change the Constitution and introduce powers of contempt for the Election Commission. Just like you can be punished for contempt of court against our judges. Yes, we can criticize decisions of the Election Commission, we can differ with their approach, we can argue about their strategy, but like our judiciary, I plead that we must not be allowed to wildly criticize the motives or the integrity of our great Election Commission. Let us preserve and reinforce this great institution of India. May our Election Commission be treated with the respect it deserves. Thank you very much.